Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. For today's flick pick, I decided to choose Dick Tracy. This movie came out in 1990, and when I saw it in theater, I really liked it. I really enjoyed the film. I didn't know much about Dick Tracy. Actually, I don't think I knew anything about Dick Tracy when I saw the film. So afterwards, doing the reading and research and stuff, I found out a little bit more, and his character goes way back. I mean, this character started in 1930s and was a comic strip, and then it became a TV series and then movies, and all throughout through almost all the decades, 30s, 40s, 50s. But this one was 1990, and the actor who plays Dick Tracy is Warren Beatty, and he does a phenomenal job because he's done movies like that in the past. He's done was it Bugsy? He's done Bonnie and Clyde. So he's been in these type of 30s style movies. So he really fit the part well. And of course, he's opposite Al Pacino, who plays the kind of like the Al Capone of the story, and that is Big Boy Caprice. And he's also a real phenomenal actor. He really fit the part. I mean, it's Al Pacino. He did Godfather. He did Scarface. I mean, he was in a lot of classic, again, this style of movie. So he really, fits the bill. The interesting thing about this movie is the way they filmed it, the way they did the production. They put them in this kind of like almost like a comic scene. It's hard to explain. They use really, really bright colors. The buildings, the backgrounds, everything kind of looks real, kind of looks cartoonish. I mean, it's not, they don't actually use cartoon, not like Who Framed Roger Rabbit or anything. But what they're doing is they're using a lot of tones that you'd expect to see in a cartoon. For instance, Dick Tracy's uniform, that bright, bright yellow, I mean, they keep it bright yellow. He looks like a banana half the time. But that, they wanted to keep the essence of the comic series. And they pull it off quite well. Like, sometimes I was kind of confused as to what style of movie I was watching. Like, is this supposed to be a drama? Is this supposed to be a crime? Is this supposed to be an action? In some cases, it's even considered a musical. Like, Madonna, who's she plays Breathless Mahoney, one of the characters, one of the main characters actually in the film, and she sings through like most of the movie. Like she does her singing routines and stuff. They actually made a soundtrack. I remember buying this in the 90s, and it's pretty much a Madonna album because that's most of her songs are on here. It's not a bad album actually. I'm not too big into this stuff anymore, but it's okay. I don't even have a tape player anymore, so I can't even listen to it. But yeah, and this movie did spawn quite a few things in the 90s. Like I remember buying the trading cards, and there was the toys. This is like my favorite character, Flat Top. And, I bought a bunch of the toys too, just because I thought they looked cool. And they all come with their Tommy guns and stuff. And speaking of Flat Top, one of the best parts of the movie is the way they do the villains. Dick Tracy, the actual series, the comic series and all that, all the villains have some interesting characteristics about them. Each one is pretty much named after their specific characteristics. For instance, Flat Top, who, as you can see, kind of has a flat head, so his name fits. Shoulders, who has these really long shoulders. There's Little Face, he's this, got this tiny little face and this big head. There's Prune Face, and he's basically, he looks like a prune. Mumbles. Now that the actor who plays Mumbles is Dustin Hoffman, another really great actor. And Mumbles' character, well, I guess you can just say he mumbles. And the movie itself really gives you that tone, like the first Batman movie that came out with Michael Keaton. Really dark in some areas. The music is really vibrant. You can. It sounds very similar to the style of music that they had in the Michael Keaton Batman. And I guess it makes sense because that was the era when a lot of these comic book series started to come out. And that's what I would say about this movie. It's not 100% serious, but it's also not 100% humorous either. I mean, they kind of make it half and half. So like there's scenes in this where it gets pretty intense. They have a a few different plots happening at the same time. You got kidnapping plots, you got murder plots, you got you name it. There's many different plots in this film. The other thing that they focus a lot on is the relationship between Dick Tracy and his girlfriend Tess Trueheart, and really they just try to create this connection of how a woman could handle living with a person who's dedicated to his work. And so there's a lot of scenes where they're talking together, and you could see that they're on the verge of breaking up, and she wants him to change and he can't change. And so there's this whole story that's just kind of woven throughout the film. There's even a mysterious character. I don't know if they ever give the character a name. I believe it might just be the Blank or something like that. But this character has has no face, basically, just a flat face, and you don't know who it is. It just kind of shows up in the middle of the movie, and you find out at the end. But yeah, I mean, the movie itself, it's a really good story. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's one problem I have with it, and it's at the very beginning. And a lot of the popular villains from the series get killed right away. And so I thought that was a little bit odd and unnecessary, because, they have all these great characters, and yet they all seem to get whacked right away. I mean, literally within the first 5 to 10 minutes. And it kind of, that's the point that sets the story in motion, right? I think that's a problem with some of the movies that they were making back in the 90s anyways, was they would often kill off a lot of the characters that were popular characters of the series, because I don't know if it was meant that they could, just have a reason to introduce new characters for the sequels, or, in the case of this, where if they kill off so many great characters, maybe they didn't want to make a sequel. Maybe they just thought, let's just kill them all off and not have a sequel. Anyways, let me know what you think of the movie. I really enjoyed this movie. I watch it every once in a while. I still get entertained from it. And, the characters, I like all the characters, and, like the toys. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment below if you've seen it, or if you'd want to see it, or just your thoughts on it. And let's see what we can come up with. Anyways, hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.